My network is like Rich said, it's a picnic network. We only do parties and picnics. 2 years ago, after the summit in Washington, D.C., I went to visit my cousin in LA, and he works for MySpace, on a MySpace program, and he was asking me about the whole summit, what happened and everything, and I was telling him we're presenting the network and everything about the network and the people that I met here. And after like 2 hours of talk, he was like looking at me and he said, "That's really cute what you're doing, but are you getting paid for that?" I was like, "No." "So what do you think? How long are you gonna last without getting paid, without any money, cash inflow in your network?" And I said, like, "I don't know, as long as we want." But that didn't happen, unfortunately. So, as I said before, we started our network like few people, few enthusiasts who wanted to test the network possibilities, connecting people, connecting different neighborhoods in Belgrade. We even started some projects. We connected, we had an international link, which was just a test, but it became an internet service provider in one little town in Serbia, which is, I mean, we started it, but almost a lot of people from our network start as a community guys, but then they just take off and do their own businesses with the networks. So the thing is that we made really great things with our network, but then at some point we stopped for some reason, because we had big problems with the government. So we couldn't use our frequencies at the beginning. We couldn't use the 5.8, which we use a lot. Even 2.4 was registered for some other things. So, but we managed to do that because we had, like, at some point, a lot of tech guys. I mean, techies. I'm not a techie. Tech guys, they started to be so involved in the network that we needed some diplomats and negotiators in the network so that they can go and negotiate with the government guys and things. So we started implementing that, and we made a good relationship with the government at some point, but that was before the elections. After the elections, everybody forgot about us, so they would just ask me, like, "Who are you?" So then we started like collecting money, because it was a low budget network, collecting money like door-to-door campaigns and donations from our members. It worked for a while, and so we tried to implement a membership program, but then some problems started, because in Serbia, like even if you pay a little bit of money, they paid something like €1 per month, which is almost nothing. They wanted full-time service, so people started calling us at 2 a.m. asking why their Windows is not working and things. So that thing was obviously a big problem for us. So then we started to do the workshops and trying to educate people about the networks. I was the one who didn't know anything about networks, the TCP, IP, DNS, gateways and things. I didn't know those are just bunch of numbers for me. So the people who became the members of our network were also like that. So they didn't know anything about the networks. But now I can surely say that all the people from our network, they know about what the IP is and what DNS is and gateway and things. So that's one of the good things that we did. We educated at least those 1,500 people, how many we have in the network, about the networks. So I said that we need to make a professional structure, like we have tech people and negotiators, designers and everything for our website and things. We tried to somehow to find sponsors, but the problem in Serbia is that nobody wants to respond to your requests if they don't have any kind of profit from that. So it was really difficult. We couldn't find. We contacted like a bunch of internet service providers to give us at least one link, one uplink to internet. Nobody responded, so we had to pay for that. And since we didn't have money for we didn't collect money for internet except for services and for the equipment that we had. That was a big problem, so it lasted for like a few months because we paid for it. That internet service providers only, when we built up the network, because we had easy access to the roofs in the city, because we were the friends and neighbors to those people who are in the building, so we could always come in and put our equipment on the roof. Internet service provider found that really interesting because they had to pay a big amount of money for roofs and things. So they wanted us to get in. So they offered us an internet uplink, but to use our resources and our equipment on the roof. But we had to reject that offer because we would become non-commercial. Actually, we would become a commercial network for that. Usually, I came here to see, because somehow we're in a kind of a standby mode. So the network technically exists, but it doesn't grow, like someone else said before. It doesn't grow. Somehow it stagnates in one position. Like when we established the network in 2004, for the next 2 years we had like a really big amount of members, especially after the first summit that we attended. After that we had promotions on TV, commercials, so everybody knew who we are. A lot of people came in the network, so we had like 800 people just coming up in 2 years, and then the next 2 years we had maybe 100 people showing up and joining our network, so it's kind of in a standby mode. So now, currently we're looking for a program that could restart the whole network, and I think the problem is that we have the way that our network is made. The structure is not a mesh network like most of the networks that we hear in the world. So we have the neighborhoods connected, and then we have the point-to-point connections between neighborhoods, which is good because you have big bandwidths and really good connections. You can do voice over IP, you can do live streaming, you can do whatever you want with that good bandwidth. But then you have a problem because you don't cover the whole city, and that's one of the problems. And you don't go beyond the city edge, except you have the link, like we have to Novi Sad, which is like connecting 2 cities in the network. So basically our network is built without the internet inside, so it's a closed network. And now we're figuring out the way, how are we gonna use that network for to grow. The thing is that we're trying to make a really good database of our members. So we would really want to know what could the members of the network, what could they really offer to the network, and if they want to offer their services, and we can help them easily find a job, find a person that they want. I mean, it's a community social network, so they could connect between themselves, and they do, because we do a lot of social events. So I don't know. That's the thing. That's the problem that we have here. I don't know how. We only have problems. Sorry, we didn't figure out the way how to solve them yet. But that's why I'm here to try to. I like the way the model that Rich has, but it's really difficult for us to do it because we are not the whole city is connected. We should, for that we needed to put equipment around the city, which is difficult because we don't have the licenses and permissions to put hotspots.
You know, Nemanja, is this microphone on? Our models aren't all that different, actually. When we started off and we weren't charging anything, is not different from the way we are now because our bank account is still more or less zero, right? The difference is when you aren't charging, then you're completely dependent upon people's free time to get things done. And so you don't really have control over the implementation of your mission. It's just like you're begging people, to volunteer and contribute. Right? However, if you are able to charge, then you're able to hire contractors and to do all the various things that you need to do. And you just have more resources, but at least you're able to manage your schedule. At the end of the day, you still have nothing in your bank account because every dollar comes in and goes out, but you're able to get more done on a schedule. Does that make sense? I mean, it's not like we're not getting rich off of the $55 a month. It's just we're able to manage our time better.
No, but according to our law, if you're a non-profit organization, you cannot pay people to work in your organization because you're not getting profit. That's the problem. At some point we had some money on our accounts, but we couldn't get it out from the account.
You have to hire like a professional company that does it for you. You have some members of the association.
Yeah, we could. That's what.
Company that they have just a contract. I mean, that's the problem.
But no, that's not a problem for us to do. But we didn't have that much money to pay the company to do that for us because it was just €1 a month. It was just like symbolic membership. But that became a problem because I told you people started to, even if it's €1 a month, they started to call you. It's like this and that doesn't work. It's like,
of course, I mean, as soon as somebody pays money for something, he expects something back. Even if it's completely disproportionate.
But the problem with our admins was like they never got like pat on the back or something. They just got problems and critics and things. So they got tired of doing anything for the network. So, but now we're restructuring our network, and the old guys that started the whole thing are starting the new thing again. And we're not sure how it's going to look like, but I hope it's going to be good. So we're still existing, but the thing is that we're kind of standby mode.
It's a great point, though, that if you are going to charge money, try to avoid charging end users because most of the problems exist for the end users, and it has nothing to do with the integrity of the network. They just, don't know how to use their laptop, or their laptop has a virus, or any number of things that could go wrong that interferes with the laptop working on the network. But as soon as you charge them $1, suddenly you become Microsoft Windows support for them, and it has nothing to do with the wireless. So, we've always felt that the Wi-Fi should be free to the end user, but since the businesses are getting the most benefit out of it, because the business wants to put free wireless internet on their sign, that's probably where the money should come from.
That's why we got off the membership fee.
Yeah.
So, no, we don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
There's a standard thing, a freemium business model encompasses a lot of things, and one of them is referred to by economists as a two-sided market. This is the issue where you aggregate a lot of people who are getting the benefit for being free, and then you sell access to those people, to the businesses, for money. That's a two-sided market. It's the way.
That's the .com industry.
Well, but it is your business specifically.
Exactly.
And it is, two-sided markets include dating bars where they let the women in free, so they can charge the men more. I mean, this is the same principle. So the point is, the high volume thing needs to be free, so that people don't expect any support. And you can tell them, oh, you got a problem, it's free service, go to the wiki.
The problem is that we didn't have any
But then you need a way that you can find value because you've aggregated a bunch of free people, that you can get someone else to actually pay you something to make it be sustainable.
That's what I can notice here. The obvious problem is that we didn't have any business users on our network, so we had only users, and that's.
But you said like they were calling you for Windows problems and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Why not partner with some local IT tech shop? Tell them, okay, you got these customers, they got these problems. Let them pay 15 euros or 20 euros a month. Let them call the IT service company, and they get cheap PC support and get something out of this IT support company.
Well, the problem is that nobody wants to pay anything. Like the businesses,
But
they
they
don't
pay
want.
€1. If you said
No. That's the users pay €1, but not the business. Business are like companies. They don't want to pay anything.
Yeah.
But they didn't even want it. I mean, we spent a lot of money buying equipment from one company because that company had a monopoly of importing anything like that is connected with networking. And they didn't even want to give us any discount, so not 5% of discount for buying equipment as members of our network.
Yep.
Some other companies gave us discounts, but that one didn't. And it was really hard to manage to
what I mean is you got something. You got like you reach people. You reach like how many? 800 people.
We have like 1,000.
You have a user base.
Yes.
What you could do is charge this user base like €10 a month.
Okay.
Charge them. For 10 euros a month, you reach them and ask a local IT company like with IT support, okay, what do we get if we pass on like €5 from each user to you, or pass on even on the 10 euros from each user? You support us by making this network bigger, providing uplink, all this kind of stuff, because you got something. You got a user base.
Yeah, we have a
you
base.
reach them.
I know, that's what we were trying to figure out, how to use that database, and that's what we're doing right now. We're making a big database so that we know all about exactly how many members we have, because it is a closed network, so somebody needs to let you know. I told you about that. So we should know how many members we have. So we're trying to make a great database so that we know how many and what our members are and what do they do and everything. So
Yeah, if you charge €10 and like 800
€10 is too much for Serbia.
Okay, that's
You wouldn't pay it.
€5 and 800 users are paying that for getting IT support from 8 to 6 or something like that. And you pass it on to an IT company and they should do the
Or
work.
we can create
And
an IT
you
company.
can work on it. That's also okay.
Yeah.
Users are amazingly cheap. You know, that's the hard part. It sounds like a reasonable thing, but I agree. You know, whether you're